Hello everyone, my name is Caleb Lands. This is my first video, my first take. I'm a junior studying computer science at the University of Buffalo. I'm starting this just to start to document my journey. Just being a student and trying to transition from being a student to the actual job force. And yeah, so I just thought I would bring up my flow sheet here. UB does a great job with people in applied sciences, just showing what classes you have taken, what classes you're currently taking, and what classes you need to take to graduate within the 4 years. So I just thought that I would go over my flow sheet, the courses that I've taken so far, I'm taking currently, and my future courses. And really just talk about it, explain it for people who maybe they're seniors in high school and want to become a CS major, or freshmen, sophomores, or maybe same year as me, or just someone wants to watch this in general. So I'll start off with my freshman fall year right here. I took Calc 1. It's just your standard math class, integrals, derivatives, the usual Calc 1. I would definitely advise having some pre-calc knowledge going into Calc 1. Know your trig, know whatever. But I will say, if you're going into CS and you're not good at math, that's all right. Math, it's kind of a broad scope. It's more logic. You have to use a lot of like logical math in CS. It's fine if you're not good at calculus or linear algebra or any of that stuff, or stats. Stats, I had no clue what I was doing. We'll talk about that later on. So yeah, Calc 1 is basic Calc 1. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that you can look up, like my organic chemistry tutor. He's great for Calc 1. So our first intro to CS course, I'm struggling to open these up. There we go. So CS1, it's in Python. So this is your intro course to CSE 115 here at UB. Basic stuff like if statements, for loops, lists, maps, going through a loop, and just basic stuff like that. Basic Python, files, writing the files, reading from a file, simple stuff that you learn in your first CSE course. Really fun course. I ended up being a TA for this my sophomore fall year. Really fun course. Really good professors here at UB. 191 is just a seminar. It just talks about like the ethics of computer science and some other fields that you can go into for CS. For English credit, I had it transferred over from high school. Calc 2, more integrals, just all integral stuff. Really fun, not really. Got an A though. CSE 116, which is CS2 here at UB. This is in Java. Talks about a lot about objects, how to make it an object, methods, changing an object. Let's see, we'll talk about linked lists, trees, graphs, all three fundamental data structures in the world of computer science. Also, you talk about like BFS, DFS, how to traverse a tree. It's a really fun course, and polymorphism, inheritance, stuff with object-oriented programming, very important stuff. Objects, not just in Java, it's in Python, C++, a lot of different languages has objects. 191, very interesting course. This is your first course into logic, proofs. Proofs are a really big thing in the CS degree. Learn more about graphs and trees, and just a lot about logic and Boolean stuff. The proofs are not great. They're fun ish, not really. Yeah, it's just a course that no one really likes to take, and you just gotta learn and grind through it. So 220, fall, second year here. This is the weed out course, as what people say. It's in C, so a little lower level than Java and Python. Uh, the homeworks, the assignments are a lot more difficult than the previous two CSE courses that I've taken here. The hardest one was the fourth assignment where you had to re-implement malloc, calloc, recalloc, and free, and that was very difficult at the time, and it was a big learning curve. I think people once you eventually finish that project, I think you're just overall a better thinker. It's probably a better way to explain that, but yeah, it's a great learning curve course. I also take 250 at the time, my first data structures course. This is a great course. This is Leet Code pretty much. This is Leet Code 101. Talk about all different things from arrays, lists, stacks, queues, heaps, graph traversals, sorting, hashing. Um, Basically everything that you'll be asked on an interview about data structures. This will be it right here. This is it. This is all you really need. If you really need like the base like guideline foundation, 250 right here, data structures. Also, I took physics my freshman year. I felt like a physics freshman year fall semester. First semester, this is calc-based physics. I was more of a physics major than a comp sci major that semester. Don't ever do that because, as you can see, I took geology afterwards, and that was a lot more simpler. But my second spring semester here, I take computer organization, which is this is your hardware course. So we talk about uh, the CPU and everything that revolves around the CPU and the clock cycles, memory, and this is in MIPS. MIPS is like assembly and ARM kind of language, where it's very low level. And also later in the course we learned VHDL. Um, Not really my cup of tea for this course. I'm not like a lower level kind of guy, but it was fun learning about like the actual hardware that's in your computer and how it all works. 331. This is the GPA killer for here at UB. I think it has been a few years, at least a few semesters, since someone has gotten an A in this course. Uh, a lot of proofs, a lot of proofs. Start off with greedy algorithms, and then divide and conquer, and then those two kind of new, but kind of know already. And you go into dynamic programming, which is a really new idea of programming. And then you go into NP versus P. Still have no clue what that means. Just all the course is just proofs. The passing for the classes I've heard is like the lowest it's been is like 15 or 20 or something like that. It's not so hard to pass. It's just more of a your grade is gonna be really bad in this. I don't know how I got a B. I actually got a B plus. I think I really did bad in the final, but you know, a B's okay. Yeah, geology. These are all science requirements. Last semester I took 305, which this is an OCaml, which OCaml is um, a very weird if you've never done like an OCaml type of language. So like Java, Python, C, all this, those are all imperative coding languages. This is a functional language. The biggest difference is there are no loops. I mean, you can do loops, but you're kind of breaking the OCaml away. It's all using recursion. Um, it's a really interesting way to program. Not my cup of tea. I hope I'll never go into OCaml, right? OCaml ever again. Go is kind of functional. Golang, I'll talk about that later. I'm in a course like that, but it's more you can do for loops and stuff like that, which I kind of like to be able to do for loops. And I mean, also recursion's fine, but for loops are just you love them. I took Stats 301 last semester, which is like your stats requirement. For my professor, you didn't have a cheat sheet. He didn't want you to memorize the formulas, but like there are formulas. So pretty much every exam, 2 days before, I'd just cram all the formulas in my mind and just spit it out on the exam. I couldn't tell you anything about stats right now. Like, it's not that I don't know how to do it. It's just that I think he did a bad way of teaching a student how to retain information. But yeah, it wasn't difficult. I mean, if I really needed to relearn stats, I'm sure I could. But yeah, I got an A in that. And then also I took 309. This is my second spring semester. I took linear algebra. Going into this class, I really thought I was gonna like linear algebra. It was more theoretical than what I thought in the teaching aspect, but the exams were all like solve this matrix, do whatever this matrix. And so I found this person on YouTube called Corey Placido. Actually, he's a UB professor. Great linear algebra playlist. Please check it out if you're taking linear algebra. Maybe get an A minus, as you can see. Then also that semester, I took 312. 312 is your web apps course. So it's a back-end course. It's in Python, and you work with MongoDB. And then you have a TCP socket with incoming bytes on the TCP stream, and then you pretty much just work with that. So you create a request and response objects for those incoming and outcoming bytes. You work with WebSockets. You write your own WebSocket functionality. You write your own user authentication. How you deal with images. How to have a secure HTTP protocol. It's pretty much everything in this course to do with web apps and back-end web development. This is it right here, and it's a really fun course. So far, I think my favorite course I've taken here at UB. Very fun, very challenging, and I think I grew a lot as a student after taking this. Now I can move on to this semester. So this is my third year, my spring semester. I'm taking a history class, History 162. I'm also taking a dinosaur class for my science elective. Let's go dinosaurs. In my CS classes I'm taking 486. This is distributed systems. This is known as, or people say, the hardest undergraduate class here at UB. So far, I just finished my first project today, actually. It was due today. It is challenging. So far, it's fun. It's in Golang, Go. I've always been scared of like threads or concurrency, asynchronous. But so far, with how Go sets it up, it's been very intuitive, as it's like not like multiple things going on at once. The Go routine and the channels, like they make it a lot simpler than what I thought it was when I was learning systems programming. But yeah, our first assignment was a heartbeat failure detector. So every interval, say A and B, they send heartbeats to each other to know that, okay, he knows I'm alive, I know he's alive by sending heartbeats. And if this processor stops sending this one heartbeats, we will assume that he's dead or that the process failed. And so that was the first assignment, and it was more of like learn Go, learn how the Go routines and Go channels work, and that was really fun. I had a good time learning about that stuff. And the next assignment comes out this Monday, But in the meantime, I gotta catch up on my readings for this course. But the Monday assignment that will come out will be distributed hash tables. Not looking forward towards that as of now. Sounds really intimidating, but it'll be fun, hopefully. I'm also taking, this is my last course I'm taking so far, is CFC 429. This is my theory requirement. My 46 for distributed systems, this is my hardware and networking requirement. So for 429 is my theory requirement. This is, please come up. Where are you? Anyhow, this is my theory requirement. It's modern algorithms for computer systems. Why is it not coming up? Here we go. Algorithms for modern computer systems. I always forget what the name is. So first off, we kind of did a review on divide and conquer, which is taught in 331. So merge sort. Let's talk about quick sort and search and sort. So right now we're finally talking about new stuff, which is PRAM and RAM, which is a random access machine and parallel random access machine. And now we're kind of talking into the new stuff on how parallel systems work, on how parallel systems can do something, do some instruction, do some operation all at one time. And processors do something all at the same time. And it's been really interesting. It's like we're talking about a model, but the model doesn't actually exist in real life. It's like a theoretical model. It's like then this magical thing can do all these things at one time without any like setbacks or like drawbacks of like networking or clock cycle time or run time or anything like that. But it's been very interesting. Later on, we talk about grids, clusters, clouds. Talk about hypercubes, a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, the main concept of it is parallel programming. This is more of a theoretical aspect. There's no programming in this, just how multi-core systems work. So that's the other class I'm taking right now. And then I have 4 more CS classes left that I need to take. I still need another AI course. I plan on doing Intro to ML. That's what I plan on doing for that requirement. And then I also need the capstone requirement, CSE 442. I plan on doing that software engineering. So you have a PM for that course, and they kind of like you do sprints, and like every week you gotta check in and be like, okay, the PM will check in with you and your group. Did you and your team finish this and that? And then your grade will be based off of that. Then I can do any 300, 400 level elective. I think I'm going to do data intensive computing for this elective because I might do that certificate, the data intensive computing certificate, because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for a job. I don't really know what I want to do. Sounds kind of cool. You do some stuff with the cloud, which that sounds interesting, with Azure or AWS. Not too sure about it, but I think I'm going to do that at CSC 487. And then for my specialization requirement, I think I'm going to do 460, which that talks about databases. I can't click on here. No, can I? No. Databases, how a database works, like the insides of how a join, an insert works, and the overall aspect of that, which I'm maybe thinking of going into data engineering, so knowing databases and how that works, and also data intensive computing, along with distributed systems, I think would also create a nice little, like those 3 classes, build a nice foundation for me. Then if I want to go maybe into back end, I have the 312. Also, I mean, with data intensive computing, that class, like everything involves data now. The data, like there's tons of data, so I think that class can apply to a lot of things. But I'm really just trying to figure out what I want to do, and this is a big part. What I'm starting is documenting my journey and my thoughts and what I learn over time and how I grow. Um, so let me know more questions. I plan on doing daily, just like not like in the day, like oh in the day of a CS major, but maybe just like the things I do, just like a quick lens. 'Cause I can't really show you the homework that I do or the handouts that I'm working on because that violates the academic rules here at UB. Like I can briefly talk about it, like, oh, I'm doing this. This is my project that I'm doing. I'm stuck on this. Um, but yeah, I just plan on showing you what I work on from the day-to-day life. Um, but yeah, comment what you guys want to look at. I can also do like programming how to, how to code in Go, how to code in Python, how to code in Java, how to use Flask. Um, or I can talk about what's on my resume, or I can do whatever. Just let me know. Just comment, and I'm looking forward to hearing from everyone. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.